The cafeteria buzzed with noise, the kind that made every quiet person feel smaller. Leela sat at the far end of the room, a book open in front of her, her tray untouched. She had only joined Westbrook High 2 months ago, and already she was known as the quiet transfer girl. She never talked much, never fought back when people whispered, and always wore long-sleeved shirts that looked a size too big. It wasn't because she didn't care about style. It was because she preferred to hide. People didn't know that behind those calm gray eyes and the silence she carried like armor, there was something different about her. Something trained, honed, and sleeping until someone pushed too far. The lunchroom was packed that day, laughter echoing, trays clattering, sneakers squeaking on the tile floor. A group of seniors, led by Kayla, tall, loud, and cruel, had decided they were bored. They spotted Leela sitting alone, flipping a page. "There she is," Kayla said with a smirk, her blonde hair glinting under the fluorescent light. "Little Miss Invisible. What's she reading today? Another nerd novel." Her friends giggled. Leela didn't respond. She had learned that silence was safer. But bullies don't like silence, they crave reaction. "Hey," Kayla's voice sliced through the chatter.
"I'm talking to you, mute girl."
Leela looked up slowly, her gaze calm but cold. "I don't want any trouble," she said quietly, voice steady. Kayla laughed mockingly, pushing away from her table. "Oh, trouble's already sitting in front of you." The group followed her, circling Leela's table like vultures around quiet prey. "You think you're better than us?" One of the boys snickered, sliding her tray off the table. The plate clattered to the floor, food splattering across her shoes. Leela inhaled softly, jaw tightening. She didn't move. Kayla leaned closer, eyes full of mock pity. "Ow, are you gonna cry?" she whispered. "Come on, say something." "Oh wait, you never do." The crowd began to notice now. Funds came out. The attention fed the bully's confidence. Kayla grinned, reaching forward. "Let's see what you're hiding under all that fabric, huh?" In one brutal tug, she yanked at Leela's shirt collar, ripping the thin fabric down the shoulder seam. The sound was sharp, humiliating, and loud enough that everyone around turned. Leela froze, the air catching in her throat. For a second she couldn't breathe. She felt the sting of tears burn her eyes, but something else flickered behind them, something hard and cold. Kayla laughed loudly, holding up the torn edge like a trophy.
"Oh my God! Look at her! She's blushing!"
"What's wrong, quiet girl?" Leela slowly stood up. Her chair scraped against the tile, the sound cutting through the laughter like a blade. Her voice was calm, but her eyes had changed. "You shouldn't have done that." Kayla blinked, taken aback for the first time. "Excuse me, you shouldn't have touched me." Leela's words were low, steady, almost eerie in their stillness. The crowd leaned in, sensing something different in her tone. Kayla scoffed, shoving her shoulder. "What are you gonna do, huh? You gonna run to the teacher?" But Leela didn't move back. Instead, she lifted her gaze fully, eyes sharp, locked on Kayla. Her stance shifted slightly, feet aligning, weight distributed. Her father had drilled that into her years ago. Balance first, reaction next. "No," Leela said softly. "I don't need a teacher." The cafeteria went silent. Kayla frowned. "What?" Before she could finish, Leela's hand snapped up, grabbing Kayla's wrist mid-motion as she tried to shove again. The sudden precision shocked everyone. With one smooth twist, Leela rotated her hand, locking Kayla's wrist in a joint hold that sent her stumbling. A cry escaped Kayla's mouth, half pain, half disbelief. "Let go," she gasped. "You wanted to see something, right?" Leela's voice was quiet but deadly controlled. In one fluid motion, she turned, using Kayla's own momentum against her, and flipped her onto the table behind them. The crowd screamed, trays crashed. Phones recorded. One of the boys lunged forward to grab Leela, but she sidestepped sharply, grabbed his forearm, and sent her elbow into his chest, hard. He folded instantly, air rushing out in a groan. The third bully froze in shock, his mouth open. "What the?" He didn't finish. Leela's eyes flicked to him. "Don't," she warned. But he didn't listen. He charged, swinging wildly. Leela ducked, pivoted, and delivered a clean kick to the side of his knee. The sound echoed a sharp, awful pop. He dropped to the floor, clutching his leg. Kayla scrambled back, dazed and trembling, her friends sprawled around her. You psycho," she screamed, backing away. Leela took a breath, controlling her pulse. "No," she said, adjusting her torn shirt calmly. "I just don't like being touched." Teachers burst into the room seconds later, shouting, phones still up everywhere. but no one dared go near her. Leela's calm composure terrified them more than the violence itself. She picked up her book from the floor, brushed the dust off, and walked toward the exit as whispers followed her. She knocked them out. Did you see that? That quiet girl, she's insane. No, she's trained. She didn't even look angry. Leela's steps were steady, her mind silent. Years of self-defense classes under her father's guidance had been built on one rule: only use it when there's no choice left. And today there wasn't. As she reached the hallway, she could hear the muffled sound of Kayla crying and the teachers calling the nurse. But she didn't turn back. Her hands were shaking now, not from fear, but from adrenaline she had held in too long. When she stepped outside, the sunlight hit her torn shoulder, warm against her cold skin. She looked up, blinking against it. For the first time in months, she felt seen, but not in the way she had wanted. She wanted peace, not fame, not pity. But life had just shifted. By the time the bell rang for next period, the video was already spreading across the school's social media pages. Quiet girl destroys bullies at lunch. Hundreds of views, then thousands. Comments exploded, she's a legend. About time someone shut Kayla down. That girl's a machine. Leela sat in the restroom, staring at her reflection. Her torn shirt revealed faint scars near her collarbone, remnants of an old injury from the car crash that took her father years ago. He had been her protector, her teacher, the man who told her, never fight to hurt, fight to stop. She whispered that to herself now, trying to slow her heartbeat. Fight to stop. But she knew it wasn't over. Bullies don't forget humiliation, especially not when the world watches. Somewhere in her gut, she knew Kayla would come back, and next time, it wouldn't just be in the cafeteria. It would be worse. She dried her tears, pulled her jacket up to cover her shoulder, and left quietly, blending back into the crowd. No one approached her. Even the loudest kids stepped aside. Silence followed her wherever she walked. By the end of the day, every corner of the school knew her name, not as quiet girl anymore, but as the girl who made the bullies bleed. And though she didn't mean to become anyone's hero, she had become a symbol. That silence does not mean weakness, and calm doesn't mean fear. When she reached her locker, there was a note slipped inside, simple, handwritten. They won't stop. Watch your back. She stared at it for a long time, heart sinking. A storm was brewing behind the scenes, and deep down, she knew that the fight she tried to avoid had only just begun.